Space is often understood through objects, a bench, a place to sit, a place to gather. But what interested me was not the object itself, it was the shadow beside it. In Species of Spaces, Georges Perec writes that space begins with signs and traces. This made me wonder whether a shadow could also be understood as a trace, not simply a projection, but evidence of occupation, a record of someone existing within a space. As the sun moves, the shadow changes, minute by minute, hour by hour. Like a sundial, the shadow records time spatially. Each position becomes a slice of a larger temporal process. Patrick Keeler writes that the more he looked, the more he found. The longer I observed these shadows, the more they revealed. Not the object itself, but the relationships between time, movement, and space. Individually, these traces appear insignificant, but when accumulated, they begin to form something larger. Layers of occupation, layers of duration, a communal memory constructed through time. But if these traces can be seen, can they also be heard? Sound artist Bernard Leitner argues that sound spaces are inherently dynamic and ephemeral. Like shadow, sound is never fixed. It emerges, resonates, and disappears, yet it continues to shape our experience of space. Rosalind Krauss describes Duchamp's dust breeding as a physical index of time. Dust accumulates slowly, almost invisibly, yet over time, it becomes evidence. I began to think about sound in a similar way, not as information, but as residue, a trace left behind by presence. Ryoji Ikeda's datamatics demonstrates how invisible systems can be transformed into sensory experience. Inspired by this idea, I began translating shadows into sound, and sound into generative visual systems. Shadow becomes data, data becomes movement, movement becomes space. Through accumulation and translation, these temporal traces return to the space from which they emerged. The project explores how shadow and sound can reveal the temporal presence of individuals within communal space, not through representation, but through experience.